Hello, 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 everyone. Hi, Joe. Good to see you.
Good afternoon, all. I think we may need to turn that camera just a little bit. Not that I want equal screen time, but just...
You just want to be right in the middle of everything, that's all.
Well, that's been the story of my life.
Well, we got 2 thumbs up. Somebody's here.
One of those is me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. The other one must be Joe, but I don't think he's
There's
here.
Joe.
He left again.
Oh,
Oh, well. He'll be up again in a minute.
in the meantime, I'll enjoy some of my good coffee.
It's gorgeous out there today.
Is it?
Yeah, it is beautiful. Temperature's nice. It's sunny. There's no rain. Of course, when I got up this morning, everything was very, very foggy because all the rain was coming up and dissipating.
Yeah,
It's beautiful out there now.
It is pretty out there.
It definitely looks like summer. Hi, Joe. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for coming by. Damn it.
Do I need to get you a little more elderberry this morning?
I could probably use some. Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. You talk to Joe.
Okay. This elderberry syrup that Kate makes for me helps a lot with my COPD. This, I'm going to have to get looked at. I'm not sure what's going on with all of my voice things. It started just kind of gradually and it's gotten pretty bad. Singing 1917. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you, sweetheart.
There you go. Now, let's see. The Savage 1970s, 1732 ICP ships.
It's a new gun. He's getting a new gun, I think.
Pardon?
He's getting a new gun.
Oh, okay. Cool. I still need to move that just a little further over.
Yeah, that's fine there. That's close.
Yeah, but now they can see the map behind me
okay,
instead of just looking out at the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, good point. Good point.
Or is that the Pacific? No, that's the Atlantic. I had it right. Almost 100 years old? Wow. Of course, you know,
That'd be a nice piece, Stone.
almost 100 years old sounds really old until I think of the fact that that means it's probably only about 30 years older than I am.
I've got furniture older than that.
So, yes, we do.
I do have my, what was my stereo cabinet?
Now an armoire or a wardrobe or whatever you want to call it.
Came out of a hotel in Madrid. And when I got it back in the late 70s, it was already 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
beautiful piece.
the one that I had that was stolen out of the house was built in the 1700s. It was dated even.
That's a shame.
Yep. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's just stuff, but some of it's nice stuff, you know?
Yeah. That was nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And it had the original mirror still and it had all the ripples in the glass and all. So
Oh, Joe took his dad to a car show yesterday. Cool.
Dad to the
Way to
car
go.
show. We've got a car show coming up here in Cibolo soon. I saw an advertisement for it on a sign outside of, where was it? I don't remember, one of the little places.
Yeah, they have a couple of them every year and then.
Mm-hmm. I think it was over near the Sonic, but I could be wrong.
That's probably it. It's a nice little pocket island. Kate's got like one of those little giveaway knives from Ace Hardware. I think it's Ace, isn't it?
Hi, Ellie. Hi, guys. Hey, y'all find that truck yet? He's still looking. He's definitely looking.
I've got it narrowed down and I need to make my move because
Do we need to move the mic a little closer to David? Mm-hmm.
I made the mistake
Hi, Ruth.
of saying that I would really like to go to the Broussards. And Kate kind of took that and started running with it and mentioned it to Amy. And
It wasn't
Brett.
just me. You made that comment online.
I did. I
And
agree.
Amy was there.
I agree. It's my own fault. But now I've kind of, I mean, the offer was made knowing that it would be next to impossible because of the birds. Well, Kate thinks we can board the birds for
Okay.
3 or 4 days. And if I'm up to it, I can make the trip. Well, to do that, we need either a new vehicle or rent one. And I'm right at the point where I want a new truck because I want to get modified.
Hi, Metal. Good to see you. Hi, Ruth.
I want to get it modified so I can put my wheelchair in the back and then have something swing me up into the driver's seat. So I have the driver's seat swing out and come down, have me come up on my wheelchair, transfer over, and then with a remote, just take and put my wheelchair in the back of the truck. Then I can go just about anywhere. And I really miss going places, so it would be nice. And this is about the only way that it's going to happen, is to modify a truck so that I can, just drive up to it in my wheelchair and transfer over to something else and then swing up into the truck and off we go. If I can do that, I can go anywhere.
Joe, a Tommy lift probably would not work because he needs to be able to step out of the wheelchair and into the seat for the truck rather than put the wheelchair in the back of the truck and then walk around to get in the truck. That's just not as good.
A tailgate lift won't do it. It's got to be either a ramp or a wagon or a crane, kind of like this.
And the crane would be
And
best.
the crane would work the best because I can mount that in the bed of the truck. It'll swing out, latch onto the chair, because it weighs about 300 pounds. Pick up the chair and put it right in the back, and it'll be secured. The rest of the device would swing me up and behind the wheel and then make it possible for me to be the driver.
I've seen pictures of the vans like that.
Oh, I got a lot of
But
pictures.
we really
of that.
want a pickup.
Yeah.
Hello, Susanna
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Ellie, my family. My mom is doing so good that she's not had to have anyone at the house for the last 3 days.
Hallelujah.
Can I get one without a seat? Then your chair could take its place. Yeah, but then I couldn't
But
drive
then
it.
Kate couldn't drive it. So we need to, this needs to be a universally designed vehicle.
Hmm.
So either I can use it or anybody else can use it. That's the point of universal design.
Well, it is supposed to be getting the truck for me, so I have safe driving.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's my overriding concern is you. It really is. I mean, we've got an 09. So there's been quite a few innovations made since then as far as safety.
And it had,
A lot of changes in terms of technology that goes into them.
it had a lot of mileage when we got it, and
Yeah.
I put more on it.
And it's still sound. I mean, the engine it doesn't leak a bit, and it's got at least 175,000 miles on it. And it's structurally it's sound, but it's got some dents and scratches and stuff. So its trade-in value is going to be minimal. But that's okay. We put $3,000 or $4,000 down with it. We should be able to make a pretty good deal.
Hmm.
And for once in my life, and I don't say this to brag by any means, it's just the way things have worked out. We have a decent credit score, so we should be able to get good loan terms. So there's that too.
Yes, we do have a tack on the map for you. I'm not sure if that's Amy or Brett, but oh, there you are. Amy, yes. Brett, yes, we do have a tack for you. You see what Amy says.
I can't really see it.
I'm here. I hear that David's coming to visit
Well,
me.
Amy,
Yay.
I'm trying very hard. Yes, I am. I'm trying very hard to come and see you. And if Brett wants to hang out, that's okay too. But yeah, it'll. I'm hopeful. I'll put it that way. I've got a couple of weeks to close the deal, so I should be able to do that.
And if all else fails, we can rent a truck
Yeah,
and a buggy for the back
I
and
don't
just
know about that.
put you in and I'll drive the wheelchair around and put it in the buggy.
I don't know. We might be able to rent. So I'd rather have. I mean, for right now, there's probably no way that I'm going to be able to get everything ready before we go. All the modifications to the vehicle.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is we're going to end up taking the manual wheelchair, and that will be my transport there.
That will
Now,
work.
granted, I'll need help, but with 3 or 4 adults around, and me being as undemanding as I am,
Right.
it should work out. But
Hook his chair to the hitch and tow it. Metal, the only problem with that, it is a wonderful idea, but the only problem with that is I tend to have a heavy foot. And Amy can tell you that when I get in the truck and headed towards Louisiana, the
And
speedometer does not go below 80.
it might cook those little tires on that.
A toe strap and a helmet.
Put on my seatbelt, my helmet, and here I am standing 80 miles an hour screaming down I-10.
Amy says,
Come on, baby, hit it.
Amy says, if you come, she'll be your nurse and push you around.
I might take you up on that, darling. I might take you up
Speed
on
wobbles in the chair,
that.
right? Can you imagine what it'd be like going over a speed bump?
This brings a whole lot of images to mind.
We could have fun with that one.
Being towed in a wheelchair at 80 miles an hour. Yeah,
Epic videos coming from that one.
that would be my one chance to really
Shine in a video.
shine, yeah, and have something go viral. That would go viral.
We may have to do it just for that. Joseph, he's a fast driver, but a careful driver have to be because people are crazy. You're right, Joe. I'm careful too. I have no speeding tickets, no accidents on my record at all. So
Yeah. I started driving when I was 10, and I used to drift a 1931 Model A through the desert of Arizona before drifting was even a word associated with cars. So I know how to drive, yeah.
hi, Joshua. Long time no see.
Hey, Josh, good to see you.
Amy says you should strap your phone to the tailgate so we can video the whole trip.
Yeah, well,
I think our fans
I'll
and
tell you,
friends have ideas for you.
if we had something like that, I think I'd go GoPro and just splurge and go big.
People be
Because that would be a one-shot thing. That's
right.
There's no take two.
Doing pretty well, Josh.
We're doing all right. Above ground, taking nourishment.
Yeah.
So,
Dad taught me to drive. Too early to drive.
well, my dad gave me, on my 10th birthday, my father gave me the keys to a 1931 Model A.
Give David a parachute to wear too.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. And I could go up and, like the
Like the paragliders
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, I could paraglide all the way to Louisiana.
There you go. The only place it'd be a problem would be through Houston.
Yeah.
Some of those overpasses are pretty low.
Yeah, that would be a problem. You're right. That would be a problem. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. We'd definitely have to plan the route.
Yes.
Anyway, my dad gave me a 31 Model A. He said, this is yours. And you take care of it. He told me he'd put the gas in it. And he'd give me the oil and all that stuff, but maintenance on it was my job. We had about 40 acres right behind our house. It was just nothing but flat land. It had been farmland years ago, but it was all leveled out like desert.
Roots, this video's getting better.
Yeah, we actually have some production values. So he took me out there and he bolted or strapped wooden blocks onto the brake and the clutch and the gas for this 31 Model A, and he taught me to drive.
Full face helmet to keep the bugs out of his teeth.
Yeah, well, there's not many teeth left to do that with, but
This is good. He's got a mustache that would keep the bugs out of his
that's my
teeth.
bug filter right there. Yeah, and then after a while, he just turned me loose, and I lived right at the base of the Santan Mountains in central Arizona. I
Hi,
got my
Lori.
went off down the little old country roads and then took off into the desert and drove wherever I wanted at 10 years old. It's fun.
Josh says he loves your wonderful stories.
Oh, well, thank you. Turns out I have more than I thought, you know.
That's what happens when you get over 50.
Well, whenever you spend more time looking back than looking forward, you tend to remember things a little better.
Right. Just as my dad and my Uncle Bob used to sit on his lap and drive the car. I did that with my grandfather, and I didn't sit on his lap. I stood between his legs and held on the steering wheel, and he drove and I held on.
My dad just sat beside me and hollered at me.
It's 80 here in South Texas, too. I mean, it's probably about 85 by now. It was 80 when I went out earlier.
I tell you what, if you can drive a 1931 Model A standard transmission without grinding gears, you're doing good. And I learned how to do that.
I couldn't, I've never even seen a 1931 or 39 Model
There
A.
was no synchronizers for the clutch and the transmission.
The
So
pickup I learned to drive on was
always
that way, too.
ground gears unless you were,
And you had to come to a complete stop to get it back in first.
pretty much, yeah. Or double clutch. And I learned how to do that.
No, I didn't learn to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it, Joe. I look back on it now and things I took for granted that my mom and dad allowed me to do at the ages I was is phenomenal. I mean, I had more liberties and freedoms as a child than virtually anybody did. I mean, I owned my own .22 rifle at the age of 6 or 7. I would go out into the desert
I
around
would be 9 before I got mine.
around Laredo, Texas, alone on horseback on a big, huge ranch and hunt. And I had a single shot .22 rifle with me and my horse, who I took care of. And I would go out for hours and hours and hours and just wander through. And this was a working ranch with longhorn cattle who did not like people. And I actually,
And a Brahma bull who liked you.
and a Brahma bull that I loved. But, I actually worked roundups there and got paid at the age of 8 and 9. So
Awesome child.
it was, I didn't know I had it made when I was a kid. So I wrote a book about it. I wrote a book about it.
Pollen's bad. It's not here. It rained too much yesterday. There's no pollen in the air right now. You're right, Brett. You can't beat true freedom.
Joe, it sounds like you and I had the same kind of dads. They would give us the freedoms right up to where they could find our responsibilities. That's the way I always felt about it, was that I wasn't being given a privilege. I was being rewarded for being responsible. So I was a good kid. I mean, I didn't cause trouble. I was the only child, so who the hell are you going to blame?
Right?
You know, if something happened, over
Kids
here.
today don't have that. That's true. Kids today
You
don't
know.
have a lot that we had when we were young.
Yeah, I had more freedoms when I was a kid than you can shake a stick at. I can't even begin to describe the kind of liberties I had as a kid.
I had more responsibilities as a kid than
Well,
you
that
could
too.
shake a stick at.
I had responsibilities too, and I was expected to discharge those without supervision.
Yeah, but I
You
was
know.
I was responsible for the care, feeding, and
That-
raising
yeah,
of my
that I
younger
was-
siblings.
You know, mine extended maybe as far as the pets, the dogs and stuff, but
Mine had that too.
yeah, but you know but other stuff too. I mean, but anyway, it just
Being the oldest of 4 children, you learn very early about responsibilities of childcare and feeding and
Yeah,
housework
well, Joe,
and things like that.
the honor system is one thing, but just knowing that there's no one to blame, that's the other. Because I was a problem guy.
I didn't have a choice. I
I
got
could-
blamed no matter who did it because
I
I was
could
the
be a-
oldest. I was in charge, so it was my responsibility.
Well, I could be a troublemaker, and I was. Another story out of Laredo, there was a bunch of us kids that used to hang out together. And we were all named David.
Oh yes, the
And it was
5
like-
Davids,
yeah,
right?
5 Davids. And we would get into some serious shit. I mean, we used to go over to Nuevo Laredo, right across the border, and we would buy fireworks. And I'm talking M80s. An M80 basically is a quarter of a stick of dynamite.
I was that too, Lord.
And we had this big open area that was just dirt. And we blew holes in it and made forts, covered it over. You could crawl from one section to another. We made kind of like an underground cubby, or a whole bunch of little rooms, and connected them. And that was our fort and our hideaway. No girls allowed, that kind of place. And so, yeah, but that's right. It's I didn't have anybody to blame except David. It was kind of, we were a gang, you're right. And we got into a lot of trouble. Yep. We got into quite a bit of trouble. No, you can't get fireworks like that anymore, Josh. They don't, not unless you got a license. I could go over to New England. I could buy anything over there. I mean, literally.
Probably still can if you know who to talk to.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking serious fireworks, stuff that you'd have to have a pyrotechnic license nowadays to blow off. But, rockets
Yeah.
and bottle rockets that would blow up a glass bottle. I mean, they would just explode it. Tended not to use those. But, things that were just awesome and big and powerful. And we'd buy extra fuses, and we had a lot of fun. Blew some shit up, too. Found a beer keg, an empty beer keg one time. One of the small ones, 12 gallons or 12 quarts, I don't know. But it wasn't one of the big, huge, 50
Not
gallons.
the 55.
No,
It was
12.
the 12.
It's about like yay.
Yeah, but it's the 12 gallons. I think that's what they're called.
And we took a hammer and chisel, literally, and pounded in one end of it and made a hole. And we took about 6 or 8 of these M80s and wired them together. And
Brett says a friend of his used to bootleg penny rockets in from another state.
lit that puppy off and ran like hell. Blew the seam right out of that thing. It destroyed it. It didn't just, pump it
Right.
out. And those things are steel. It blew the seam right out of the keg. It was amazing.
The only thing I ever did with one of those was I brought one home from a party where I worked, and then my boss was left over from a big party we had, and my boss said I could bring it home, so I did. And my, at that time, husband, who has since passed, emptied it all on his own. Well, no, he had a friend helping, but the two of them emptied that keg in one afternoon.
Huh.
And then proceeded to get very sick with alcohol poisoning.
I'll bet. Yeah, Joe, we were lucky none of us ever lost a finger. But,
Oh my goodness.
oh, wow. No, Joe, that's impressive. I never got anything that big. Never got anything that dramatic.
In high school, I was too busy trying to blow buzzards out of the air with a 44 Magnum or a German Luger from World War II. That was always fun to use.
I never liked Lugers.
I did, but I, for a long time, had little scars right here where it would come back and get me.
And I never liked the action on Lugers. I mean, they're great little guns, but I never liked them.
Well, I liked it because the fellow that owned it was the dad of one of my good friends. He'd been in World War II and in Korea. Lost his eyesight in Korea, but he brought the gun back with him, and he had it nickel-plated, and then he had pearl grips on it. And that was a scary-looking gun, but it was really cool. And I was the only girl that he would let handle it. He let his sons handle it, let a couple of the guys that were in the scout troop that he was the scout leader of handle it, but I was the only girl. He wouldn't even let his wife handle it. But I was also the only girl he would allow in his Explorer Scout Club.
Well,
And that was back when it was all boys. There were no girls allowed in.
Yeah, move your mouse. Move your mouse.
Oh,
Thank you.
I keep bumping it. Ever seen a high-speed potato relocator? No. I bet it's fun, though. Oh, Terry Maddox, hi. I didn't see you come in. Welcome. Oh, that is funny. A high-speed potato relocator. That sounds like it'd be really fun. You just came in. Okay, well, good. I'm glad I didn't miss you. I would have felt bad.
Yeah, me too.
You're in between washing dishes and cooking supper. Where are you, Terry? It's a little bit early for either one of those here. Lori has 3 of them at the high-speed potato locators. Speaking of potatoes, I checked on my 3 large pots that have potatoes in them, and they are all, the greens are about this far above the top of the pots. Ah, you're in West Virginia. Terry, we have this map behind with all these pins in it. For those who come into the live chat, we put a pin if you would like one.
I think we did.
Did we?
Oh, we had a hard time finding West Virginia.
True.
If I remember right.
A few feet of PVC and a can of hairspray. Okay.
Oh, God, Amy, I knew somebody was going to ask
A
that.
copy of your book. He's never put it out there to be.
Well, there is a website where it is. I'll have to go find it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure where I put it.
Or
I can, Amy, if you're serious and you really want to read it, I have it set up just as a document file, like in Word. I can send that to you, but I'd need your email address. Do you have Amy's email?
I'm sorry.
Do you have Amy's email?
Yes, of course.
I'll tell you what, if you really want it, I'll send it to you.
But you don't have the copies of the pictures on the email that you can email, do you?
I didn't have a picture. Well, no, but that's okay.
Okay. I remember now, Terry. Thank you. We found a potato launcher and a lemon launcher. Yes, I know your email. Yep.
All right.
I keep having mental images flash of David in the wheelchair behind the truck at 90 miles an hour headed for Louisiana. Well,
I would have a new look on my face. What does that?
Yes, what the look I see is one of those great big ear-to-ear grins.
I used to love to ride the carnival rides like at Marine Land or even Disney, whatever, all of them. And many moons ago, happened to be able to go with my daughter, Kinder. And she and I got to ride some roller coasters together.
And that's something you won't get me on.
And my reaction when I'm on a roller coaster is, number one, I want to be in front. And number two is I will laugh from end to end. It just instantly makes me laugh.
Roller coasters
I have a good time.
Cause me to have instant asthma attacks, so I don't ride them.
Well, I think the laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like screaming,
Yes, I can understand.
But I'm laughing, I'm amused. I'm laughing.
Of that for you. Yep. Oh, cool. Any air rushing into my face like that starts an asthma attack. So I don't go on roller coasters. I don't ride motorcycles without a helmet, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, Terry's our white pen just below Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. Barbecue igniters. Oh, fun. Well,
oh boy.
I have been, every morning I have been going out to my front yard and harvesting mulberries. And I've had a few mulberries every day to eat, and they are really good. And I actually got a couple of white mulberries. My white mulberry tree has not had many berries on it at all. And I didn't expect many this year off the red one because so much of it got damaged by the freeze. um, all of the branches that I had been air layering to take to Amy, the freeze killed them. So I have to start new ones. But I can't start new ones until after it finishes making berries. So I'll probably get them started before we head out there, and then I'll have to bring them in the fall or ship them in the fall. So, but I've been getting a handful every day, and they are so good. I had forgotten how good mulberries are. I'm going to have to air layer some for me too, and have quite a few of trees, so I'll have enough to do something with. Mulberries are great, and I'm told mulberry wine is good. I know I like mulberries in ice cream and just plain, and I don't know what else you can do with them.
They'll definitely stain you, but they are good. They're very tasty.
Mm-hmm. Been harvesting strawberries. Very good.
I love blackberries. I really do. I like blackberries a
Yeah,
lot.
I've tried to grow blackberries several times, and I get them, and they just don't seem to like growing in pots. I've been very disappointed.
I'd say that's probably out of just berries that grow. That's my favorite is blackberries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brett, I'm going to be doing red mulberries for you guys and a couple of whites, but they don't bear very many berries, so I figured I'd do more reds than whites for you guys. Dewberries.
Okay. Do you feel better now that you've pointed that out to us? That they're dewberries?
Oh. I'm going to do strawberries this year in pots. Beats buying the bursary. That's true.
You know, I remember strawberries when I was a kid. They were sweet. What they've done to them over the years, I don't know. They're not sweet anymore. I mean, the strawberries you buy in the store, you might as well eat cardboard.
They're like tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes are the same way.
Yeah, they're made to be harvested when they're not ripe and stay in boxes forever. If you planted seeds in little peat pots this morning, 3 kinds of tomatoes, 2 kinds of peppers, dill, and cannabis. Ooh, yummy.
Now, see, homegrown, yeah, I imagine they are. It seems like anything that's grown that you get in the market, they've sucked all the flavors out of it.
Cut them and sprinkle with sugar and then stash them
in the
fridge.
Yeah, that's another way to do it, yeah. I like, take and put a little bit of powdered sugar on them and let them sit, and then they're good. But shouldn't have to do that to a strawberry.
Brett says,
oh, they're just like blackberries. Okay. All right. Yeah, if you go to heirlooms, absolutely.
I have some tomato seeds that came from Canada that I need to get in some soil and get them started. Hi, Albany. It's good to see you. Hey, you're never late as long as you get here before we go off.
I imagine there are very small,
Christy.
Little specialty stores out there that sell produce off heirloom seeds.
Well, I'm sure there are.
Local markets, near here.
Yeah, a lot of the local people. And those tomatoes that I get from my organic farmer every year, those taste wonderful.
Are good. Yeah, those are good. Yeah, we do get some, Kate finds some good produce here locally. We've got, a good supply of fresh eggs, more than we need. And she finds, in fact, grows some of the berries that we're eating, so, and finds quite a bit of other stuff from good local sources. So we're not doing all of it ourselves, but we do some of it.
The ones that I buy locally, I buy from the people because number one, they're organic, and number two, they are local, so the money stays in the neighborhood.
Joe says, my ex brought my mail to the door. Okay. Is there a significance to that, Joe? If so, I'm afraid I don't know it.
Apparently he and Metal think it's funny.
Oh, and I didn't see Metal for breakfast come in either.
Mr. Paul's Pantry, hello. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome. I haven't seen you in a long while. We're doing quite well. Hope you are too.
And what was your video on, kind sir? Oh, My back is stiff. I slept wrong hard last night.
Ruth
Yeah.
said there's a difference in taste with farm fresh eggs and
Oh, she's the
store-bought.
milk carrier.
True. She's
Oh,
the
that's an
milk
interesting
carrier.
relationship.
Oh,
Well, small world.
Joe Morgan's ex is a postal
This
carrier.
postal carrier. That's interesting. Now, Joe, the question is, did she ask for your route?
Where he lives, it's small enough.
Yeah,
She
that
may
could
just
be
have
too.
the whole thing.
That could be, but oh, you dated her before she went postal. That's a good point. Okay.
Ruth, there is a huge difference between farm fresh and store bought.
Oh, yeah.
My former brother-in-law lives at the front of our property, and he and his housemate care for the chickens that we all went together and bought. And I don't care for them anymore, but I just get to go get some eggs from time to time, and I love that. Brett says we won't catch his ex working.
And Albany, yes. Unfortunately, you're absolutely right. In fact, there's a market out there now called, I think it's called Ugly Fruit or Ugly Vegetables or something, where you can buy the real stuff, but it's not your typically round tomatoes and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they throw away everything. It doesn't look perfect. That's a real shame.
Imperfect fruit.
Yep. I don't know. We've made so many errors in how we've
Changed our food.
changed our way of life. Period.
Yep. Misfit market, right. Uh-oh. Joe gets
Yeah, well,
in trouble when he doesn't pay attention to his phone. Christy says, David, you're so hoarse. Kid."
yeah, I am. It's seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, we don't know what's causing it either. That's really sad. Ooh, date walnut cake. Ooh, Mr. Paul, that sounds
Ooh, that
yummy.
does sound good.
I love dates. Not too fond of walnuts, but
Well, I
I'm
like
not,
walnuts in small amounts.
I'm not one to eat nuts, basically. If it's not pistachios or cashews, I don't really care much for them.
Dates and walnuts might go really good together because dates are not super sweet, but they would have enough sweetness in them to take away some of the acidic edge of the walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it sounds pretty good. Oh, Misfit Market on the web is how to get real produce and stuff, I guess. Huh?
Privet is blooming here. Oh. Do you have hedges, Christy? I'm told Privet makes wonderful hedges.
Yeah, but
So would you like me to pick you up some blackberries and freeze them for when you come over? Or blackberries or strawberries, either. Check with your
Well, gee,
pollination, there could be allergies.
I'd probably turn them down if you froze them up and saved them and dropped them in front of me. I'd say, no, thanks.
Yeah, right.
Can't do it. Of course.
Well, it's been so rainy here for the last 3 or 4 days that there's no pollen out there. It's all been washed into the ground. Poor little bees. They can't get to any pollen today.
I think I'm going to have to make a decision in the next couple of days on this truck.
Okay.
What I've been looking at is between 2017 and 2020 or 2021 Ford F-150s. As far as the options and equipment, about the only things that I'm really hard over on are a rear view camera, navigation, but that's not a real big issue. But Bluetooth, and of course that's pretty much standard anymore. And what else? talked about something else.
Power.
I'd like to have power seats, but to be honest with you, if I end up having the truck altered so that I can, get transferred in and out with a lift, I don't know whether power seats will be usable.
Yeah. Ruth,
On the
the hives
passenger
are doing
side, yes.
beautifully.
On the passenger side, yeah, but on the driver's side, once I've got everything all suspended in this lift thing, is it still going to have power seat capabilities? I'd like
Well,
to
it's
think
going
it
to
would.
have to have some power seat capabilities because once it comes into the truck, you're going
Yeah,
to have to be able to reach
exactly.
it.
But will that need to be manual, or can it still be the power adjustments? I mean,
I'm thinking
adjustments, yes.
probably a power of its own built into the lift that moves the chair back and forth.
I don't know. Well, think about this. Okay, lift is going to do this. If you're sitting here, it's going to lift, move down. Okay, pick up, move up, swing in, go down. Okay, now it locks into this position. So once it locks into that position, is the seat then movable? And if so, can I still use the power controls? Or will it have to be manual controls on the rails because of the connection possibilities and difficulties of keeping that power seat connected to the motors that run it? You see my point?
I see your point, but it doesn't seem to me that that would be a problem somehow.
I
Let's see.
do. It'll be a problem, trust me.
Rear cameras are standard.
Yep.
Oak pollen is bad in Albany Mountains
The
area.
green dust of death.
Mr. Paul says pollen ID is very bad there in Grenada. He lives in the middle of a huge olive grove, and they're all in bloom at the present.
I don't think we have Mr. Paul on our map.
You're probably right. Mr. Paul, the map behind us has a pin for all of the different people who come to our live stream. And we would love to put you on there as well. In order to do so, what we need is
Your location.
the biggest city near you, or
In what country, et cetera, et cetera. Just basically, where are you?
he's in Granada.
Oh,
Any ideas for self-service?
Is that in
for my
Spain?
aunt?
You in Granada,
Seven
Spain?
telephone. Lori, my parents have been using the Great Call, the Firefly, is that what it's called? The Great Call Company is what it is. Jitterbug, that's it. The Jitterbug phones. And they
Sorry,
really
it's not
love
Granada,
it.
Spain.
In Spain.
Cool.
Okay, Grenada, Spain.
What color would you like to be, Mr. Paul? You can be red, blue, orange. I mean, red, blue, green, or yellow. What
Or
would you
white.
like? Or white. Yeah, I still got white. What color would you like to be, sir? I'm thinking blue.
Grenada, Spain? Granada, Spain?
Granada, Spain. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a beautiful. I've been there, by the way. I'll have to find it again.
I've only
but
been there in my head.
Yeah.
Russellville,
Oh, wait, we got
Arkansas.
Albany Mountain.
Albany
Homestead.
Mountain, I don't, let's see. Any color as long as it's black. Mr. Paul said that, any color as long as it's black.
I have dark blue. See, I have dark blue.
And Albany,
I got
what
some.
color would you like? I don't think we have you on there either. Hello, Lisa. It's good to see you.
Okay. ¿Dónde está España? Bueno, está aquí, lo visto.
Lori, the reason why I suggested the Great Call or the Jitterbug is they have a smartphone that's capable of doing all kinds of things, and all she has to do is be able to read and press a button. My mom has problems with that because her hands are so badly warped by her arthritis. Her fingers are bent, and she tries to touch and can't. But I got her a stylus, which that seems to help a little bit. Russellville, Arkansas. The biggest city is Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Mr. Paul, help me out. Granada is not on this map, and I can't remember the nearest large city for Granada.
Arkansas.
It's thinking it's Madrid or Seville, rather, but I'm not sure. So, like, I've got Malaga, Cadiz, Seville, Madrid, Zaragoza, places like that. Where are you near?
And the only Arkansas city listed on here is Little Rock.
Really?
Yep. Let me find it. Little Rock right there. got Oklahoma City, you got
There's
Shreveport,
Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, you're right.
Birmingham is in Alabama,
They got, and then Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
You're right. The only one they have in there is Little Rock.
So we'll put Albany Mountain in the K of
Yeah,
Arkansas.
we don't have any purple. I'm sorry.
He said any color.
Okay. No,
Mr. Paul.
Albany was saying.
Oh, okay.
East of Malaga. Okay, that I can spot. I know. where
Wild
Malaga
lettuce. Do you know, Christy? I have just discovered that that I may have wild lettuce growing in my yard, and I thought it was some kind of
is. And down toward the Straits of Gibraltar.
dandelion. I thought it was a dandelion.
There we go. Cool. Mr. Paul, you are now in place.
Christy says her granddaughter had to teach her how to use a smartphone.
Okay, Albany is we are slightly south of the northwest corner of Arkansas.
This is where I put her. Where did I put her?
Little Rock.
Yeah.
Because once you say, read that to me again, they're slightly what?
I gotta go find
Slightly
her.
south of the northwest corner?
Yes.
Okay, I got it right there. Right
Well,
there.
Christy, the reason why I suggested the Great
Okay,
Call
gotcha.
is because everything is buttons on the home screen. All you have to do is you pick up your phone and it comes on and it's got make a call, use the internet, send a text mail, etc., etc. If she wants to make a call, she presses make a call. It opens another menu that says contacts, place the call, and 2 or 3 other things. So all you have to do is just read.
It's pretty intuitive, I'll
Yeah,
put it that way.
it really is. It's very easy, and one button does it. And programming the phone numbers in was very easy. So she might want to try it. Brett says they have wild lettuce all over. Some are 5 feet tall. Holy cow! Mine are not that big by any means. But I've been thinking about using it to make some medicine. I've watched a couple of videos on that this morning.
You know, Mr. Paul, you're living in one of the more beautiful parts of Spain. I lived in Seville for a little over 2 years. And then I lived in Madrid for almost another 5.
How big a screen do you
Been all
need,
over.
Christy?
And I love southern Spain. I really do. Living in Seville for I spent a lot of time going down to Malaga. I love Spain. I loved it.
If David was still having a lot of problem with his back pain, I would have made wild lettuce medicine by now. But he's got that implant that is really solving the problem as far as back pain goes for him.
Yeah, that was no longer an issue. Thank
Ooh,
God.
black willow tree along the pond. When I come, I may have to trim some of those willow branches. They make wonderful baskets. And I haven't had a willow tree in a long time. I would love to make another willow basket. Peekaboo.
Well, peekaboo to you too, big guy.
Another bird heard from. Came for a holiday and decided to stay and open a bakery. That was 25 years ago, and have only been back to the UK once to
Well,
sell the bakery there. You must love it there too.
It got its hooks into you real quick, didn't it? Spain will do that to you. Man, you fall in love there. You never forget it.
And let's see, Stringtail Ridge Farm. I got to write that down. I want to go and check out theirs on the.
If you spend time in Spain and you make any memories there, they stay with you. Trust me, they do. I was online the other day and I happened to somehow or other, this complaint popped up that they had been to visit Madrid and they found it to be filthy, dirty, ugly, and it was a terrible place to be. And I had to reply. And I don't do it very often, but I kind of ripped him a new ass.
Oh, that would be lovely, Albany Mountain. That would be really wonderful. Thank you. If you'll either give me your email or use mine to get in touch, we can swap addresses.
Yeah, you know what though, Christy, if it gets right down to it anymore, if there's an herbal remedy that'll do the same thing as my prescription drugs, I'd switch to the herbal.
There's mine. I have been told it is excellent for that. That was the main reason why I started looking into it. Got it. Thank you.
What do you keep empty documents out there just in case?
I'm sorry.
That was an empty document that you just popped in. Do you do
I
that?
keep them open like that all the time because I never know when I'm going to find something I want to keep.
Okay. Good idea.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 empties open right now. When I surf the web, I never know when I'm going to find something I really want to remember or a recipe I want to try or whatever. So I keep several documents, just blank documents open so I can go check things out.
Cool.
Yep. Started my dogs on milk thistle powder. It's good for the liver and also good for bone. Speaking of dogs, Amy, how is Angel? I'm hoping she did real well. And let's see. Just share what I know. It's limited, but I stand by what I've used for me and my family. I want to go and be sure I have subscribed. Michigan Daffodil, hello Dee, it's good to see you.
Howdy, howdy. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I do that a lot, Nettle.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Amy.
Today is day 4 with no seizure meds. Excellent, that's good news. Yeah, I need some safe flea remedies for my dog and cat. They're starting to scratch, and we have our yard sprayed, but I don't put stuff on the cat or the dog. Last summer, they didn't have any problem at all with itching and fleas, but this summer, I don't know if it's just because of all the rain we're having, but this spring, they've been scratching a lot. I used to get an herbal flea remedy from my vet. It smelled like you were spraying cloves on them, and it worked very well, but that vet went out of business, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. DE powder works on fleas. Yeah.
That's what I used when I was living over in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of those little sand fleas where I lived in Woodville. And,
DE works so well for everything. The only problem I have with it
I
is
spread DE all over the house.
I can't use it too much around him anymore because it gets in his lungs and causes problems.
It's a little bit. Well, after it's settled down, I'm okay. But putting it out anymore is a little more than my lungs can handle. Yeah. But I had it all over the place, in furniture, floor, everywhere in Woodville, and I'd sprinkled up on top of my cabinets and all kinds of stuff, so that would, as whatever crawled through it, it'd cut them up.
Well, that's nice to know. Albany says that Wild Iris doesn't have anything that would cause them to fail drug tests. There's apparently no opioid in it, even though it's called wild opium.
Okay.
I just like to have some just keep in the cabinet in case there's a problem. Still stored and stiff?
Stiff. Just
down low or up high?
Yeah. Right through there. Actually, that's up a little bit.
That's more shoulders than back. Or right above the back and below the shoulder.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. Yeah, I could understand that, Amy. Diatomaceous earth is a very good product. It's got a lot of uses. I used to actually feed it to my cat and dog over and when I lived in Florida. I would sprinkle some on their food every now and then because it would take care of any internal parasites, tapeworms, roundworms, whatever. Thank you, sweetheart.
Better.
Yeah, thank you.
When David
Yeah, it will. Michigan, the way that DE works, it's just very, very, very tiny crystals. And it's like microscopic knives. And anything that has an exoskeleton, such as a cockroach, a flea, a tick, whatever, as they walk over the diatomaceous earth, it cuts their carapace or their shell. And bugs like this have no way to replenish the fluids that they've lost. So whenever those shells get cut, they start seeping fluids and they essentially dry out to death or desiccate to death. And that's why it's good. It takes a while. It's not an instant kill. But over time, it will take your population down to zero. It works. It just has to be reapplied. You can't get it wet because then it dissolves kind of back into suspension. But dry diatomaceous earth is lethal to bugs, pretty much all kinds.
Maybe
I did a little
salt
study.
does that to fleas too.
I did a little studying on that one when I was over in Alabama. I got after my divorce, I got moved into a trailer down in Woodville. And not too long after I moved in, discovered that it was completely overrun with cockroaches.
Good night, Mr. Paul. Thank you so much for stopping by.
And my two big birds were making the situation even
I'm going to
worse.
look forward to getting to watching that video.
Yeah. So I had to make a concerted effort to get rid of the cockroaches, German cockroaches. And I picked up a lot of information through the University of Florida on their website. Their entomology section down there at University of Florida is phenomenal. And that's where I got most of my information. Then I ended up going on Bug Wars. And I declared war on them, and I won. I beat the crap out of them cockroaches. Okay. Thanks for coming by, Mr. Paul. And give him a good walk, partner.
5 dogs. I would be a basket case. I'm bad enough with 1 dog. 5 would drive me totally mad.
Well, you'd have to work at it, that's for sure.
Dee, my mom is doing a great deal better. So much better that she has not had anyone other than my dad with her for the last 3 days, and she seems to be doing quite well. We have an appointment next week with the doctor who keeps trying to put her in a nursing home. And I'm going to tell him in no uncertain terms that we will find another doctor if he doesn't drop this. Because she is not ready for a nursing home. And even if she were, she does not want to go. She's scared to death of living in a nursing home. And I will not put her there until I literally cannot care for her myself anymore.
That's about right.
I won't let him do it, Joe. Believe me, I won't let him do it. I fought him. My sister, my one remaining sister who came up, was so angry with him for that she told his nurse she was going to file a complaint with the medical board here in Texas. So I don't think that's a problem at all. Oh, believe me, talking about standing up to doctors, neither David nor I have any problem doing that at all. Ooh, yeah, Dawn dish soap does kill fleas on contact. There was a cat that was my pet, but he was sort of feral. Couldn't get close to him. But I started feeding him, and he would get close, but not let me touch him. And he disappeared for a while. And when I finally found him, he was a black and white cat, and he was so infested with fleas that his white was brown. So I got him by the scruff of the neck, and he was so weak from blood loss. I took him in the house and gave him a Dawn dishwater bath, and his fur was white again. And he unfortunately didn't make it, but I learned at that time that it dawned beautifully on fleas. Nursing home denied my grandma's civil rights. Yeah, see, that's another problem I have with nursing homes. I spent a lot of time working in nursing homes as a teenager and a young adult. And after that, I swore I would never, ever put a loved one in a nursing home if there was any way I could keep from having it happen. 6 dogs with an Alzheimer's parent and a bit afraid around the. Yeah, I understand, Christy. What do you
What?
do?
No toothpick?
Honey, it came with another one for 99 cents.
Well, I mean, it's got
It's got other things. I haven't even opened it up yet. I
It's
got it
got-
out because I needed to cut
It's
it.
got
piece of
scissors.
bread.
See, it's got scissors.
Oh, it's got scissors. Cool.
Yeah. Cool little eye.
I'll tell you what.
It's got, what else? 2 blades, I think.
Here's the other one. It may have the toothpick in it.
Well, you got 2 of them, huh?
Yeah. It came with the other one for 99 cents. Christy, I'll be making
there's
a
your-
video on
there's
my
your bottle
syrup. I was
opener.
working last year to perfect the recipe. Cool. Joe Morgan, I'm not against nursing, but the homes themselves locked her in her room and didn't feed her post-COVID. Oh my gosh. That's terrible, Joe.
Wow.
Cooking on the farm. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you today.
Can I ask what came of that situation, Joe?
I picked up a couple of fishing poles and some more fishing tackle today. Might be eating some fresh fish soon if you're lucky. Oh, that's cool. You know, I loved to fish when I was a kid. I haven't done any freshwater fishing in a long time. We lived on the coast of Texas and we did a lot of saltwater fishing. Cindy spent 2 weeks in a home.
Oh, no, this is a key. This is a key holder.
What, honey?
This other thing here is some kind of a key.
Another month is sort of harvested
You got to have you got to get the knife out to get this out.
Yes. Lisa Clark, when my grandmother was in a nursing home
Oh, okay.
and Aide broke her foot and laughed. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Just a knife on that one. And a hard one to get open and closed. Huh?
Apparently, yeah. Oh, I see. It locks.
Got a little push. Push
Got a
the
lock
button.
right there. You got so you got to unlock it.
Cool.
And then close it, and that'll, it's like a key on your keychain.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that one.
I wonder if that would make it through security at the airport.
No.
That
No, it
looked
would
like a
not.
key.
No, would not. That would get
Worked
complicated.
in nursing homes before. Not everyone that works there should be allowed to work there. Some people shouldn't be allowed to care for others.
That's
That's
very
true, Amy. There's a lot of people that think they're caregivers and they are not.
Yeah, well, it's, I mean nothing against the police, but I say this by any means. But there are those in society who will strive to get jobs where they can impose their will on others. And police officers, one of them. Home health care providers and people that work in nursing homes are another, because they can force people to do what they want them to do. And unfortunately, that's true.
I'm sorry for smiling, but I was reading what Nettle says that might require a nice chat with a firearm as an incentive to treat patients with grace and respect.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that incentive would disappear when the firearm disappeared. So. Well, I spent my senior year in high school working as a volunteer. And I also worked as a volunteer the summer afterwards. And that was enough. Both of the places where I worked were very considered to be very good nursing homes, but I just did not like the fact that the elderly were warehoused and ignored. Yes, this is my special water. It's a flavored water. I drink 2 or 3 of these a day.
What flavor is that one?
Same as the one you had before.
Oh, that's evil water. That is evil water over there.
It has no sugar, it has artificial sweetener, and it has a white grape flavor.
Don't ever touch it. It will kill you. They weren't gonna let us say goodbye. Oh, not good. All of our elders should be treated with grace and respect. There is so much we can learn from our elders if we really take the time to listen. That's true. Well, that attitude is dying, unfortunately, Amy.
The water is toxic to you,
Yeah,
Amy
it is.
says.
It's evil water. Evil.
It keeps me happy, keeps my remaining kidney happy.
That was nasty.
Ruth says you ought to take a sip of my water. It might clear up your throat issue.
I think I'd rather have the throat issue.
Susanna, Mom and Dad are great. We haven't seen Ron this week. So
You
I
can only
can't tell
assume
you.
he's still drinking.
Probably.
There's nothing going to change, Ron.
Joe, it's amazing when you get a confrontive situation like that, how few people will look you straight in the eye, and especially if they're in the wrong. People in the wrong just generally
Well,
don't
they
look
know
someone wrong.
they're being assholes.
Great-grandmother shared a bedroom with me for a lot of the time when I was a kid. She was wonderful. I have wonderful memories of my great-grandmother. Many people have told me since I've become an adult that she was a witch. She was a very difficult person to get along with. But all of my memories of her, she was sweet and caring and loving. And we used to have a great deal of fun together because when we lived in a little town where we lived, there was a cemetery about a block and a half from the house. And every afternoon, my great-grandmother and I would take a walk to go down to the cemetery to visit with her friends. We would spend an hour or so, and she'd go from headstone to headstone and talk to her friends. So it seemed pretty normal to me. Oh, Christy forgot lemons at the grocery store. Well, Christy, if you were closer, I have frozen lemon juice from Mom's Meyer Lemon. So I could bring you some, but I think you're a little too far away for that. It'd probably thaw before I got to you. Yeah, I agree, Joe. He says if everyone has a loved one, there should be checking so they don't do that. I've been speaking up forever, and I hope it's helpful. You want to visit Amy? Lori, I'm going to visit Amy in about 4 weeks, maybe a little less.
Hang in there, Joe.
Yep.
Keep fighting a good fight, partner.
It's good to know somebody's there doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Too many people just accept it and walk away and say, well, nothing we can do. So I'm glad you're out there fighting.
I just looked at the clock and realized that we've been on for an hour, so I want to start the prayer list for this week.
Well, Amy, I would probably be regarded as fussy now, but I try real hard not to be. But some things just can't help.
Because they depend on others so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandmother would visit for the summer and live with us. She's the one who taught me how to sell all those years ago. It's amazing what they do. I will, David and Kate, because too many people look the other way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I
Keep
agree.
fighting, Joe. As I've said before, Joe, you have my respect, sir. Just hang in there and keep fighting the good fight.
Lori, my grandmother would come and visit us on in the summer too, and she's the one that taught me to crochet. And I started crocheting when I was 5. Let's see. Dee says I had a great rapport with our school superintendent when he was high school principal, but after he was superintendent for a couple of years, he couldn't look me in the eye when he saw me serving lunch at the school. That's too bad. We enjoy having you too, Joe. We really do.
Joe, it's good to have you here, Joe. It is truly. I look for you when you show up. And today you were actually here early.
Yeah,
which
you
I'm
beat
grateful.
us here.
Thank you.
Hello, Gary B. Good to see you. Medal for breakfast says at this point he's earned the right.
Well, actually, I now have my official curmudgeon license, so I'm authorized to be old and grouchy because I have my curmudgeon license.
Christy, I have a Meyer lemon that was marked for $20, and I got it for $7 because the big box store where I was buying it had not watered it, and it was almost dead. And I brought it home, and now it's looking pretty, and it's in its own little pot. I say little pot, it's in a big pot, and it's leafed out and looking lovely. So I'm hoping that I'll get some lemons in another couple of years. Mama's tree was given to her for her birthday 4 years ago. And this year it was huge and just loaded with lemons. And then the freeze came and it died back. I mean, it entirely died back to the ground, and we thought we'd lost it. And when I was over there last week, I discovered a shoot about this tall coming out of the roots. So it's not dead.
Good.
And it's coming up again, which I'm very excited about. You knew the choices being made for the school weren't the best, but for teachers, not students best. Oh. Yeah, I was excited. She was so excited when I told her lemon tree was still alive because my youngest sister died in 2017, and that's who gave her that tree. And so she always feels like that's her connection to one of the sisters that's no longer here. Oh, cool, Christy. My grandmothers were not particularly good scholars, but they did know a lot of practical stuff. So taught me all kinds of things. One grandmother was a beautician in her younger age, and she taught me how to cut hair. Wendy's is still doing well. Yes, I will, definitely. Okay, got Wendy back again too. Anyone else have someone that needs to go on the prayer list? I only have 3 so far this week. Baby daughter has great lemon tree. We've gotten ours there, but they're looking to get bigger place and sell their current small farm. That's the hardest part of moving, when you have a lovely place where you planted a lot of trees, is that you can't necessarily take them with you. Good idea, Amy. Thank you.
Well, the Gulf don't usually give up its dead real easy. I think I'm going to go.
All right, darling. Gonna go watch you some golf.
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it yet all week, so maybe I'll watch Sundays.
Okay.
Anyway, folks, thanks for coming by. As always, love having you here. I love being here. So,
Amy, you are first on the list.
hopefully, maybe next week I'll be able to announce that we got a new truck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That'd
At least that's what I'm
or at least
hoping.
have it ordered.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping anyway.
He hasn't been watching Cooking on a Dime. Is that David, by the way? He hasn't been watching, so I can't tell you
What's that?
who's winning in the golf.
Oh, I don't know. I have no
Lady
idea.
Sherry Digger's family has
Yeah.
coming down with COVID.
There
Oh
we go.
my!
Okay. I made it. Maybe.
Do I need to move over again?
No, I think I can do it if I can just get up. I get my foot out. That's just there. We
There we
go.
go.
I made it. Oh boy.
Okay. Ruth says, "Bye, David."
See y'all later. Take care.
Oh, you're both here today. Okay. Pray for Jerry Hanson's family. Okay. Family member shop. Oh my goodness. Gary B says, "See you later, David. Take care." We can still see you, Michigan. Lisa says bye. Rachel is much better. Her ear is still kind of hurt. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, David. And Amy says, "Have a great day, David. See you in person in a few short weeks."
That would be nice.
Last message was pray we get Wi-Fi back. Okay. Got that one too, Dee. Oh, Christy, I'm sorry to hear that. Cindy has just had a tough time of it. Okay, that got her. Okay. This has been a lovely, lovely visit today. I haven't laughed that hard in a while. I still keep having those pictures of David on his wheelchair behind the truck. That's going to take a while to go away. That was just too funny to believe. Well, no, you didn't miss it, David. My David's going to be in there watching golf, probably. We love these visits too, Amy. There's just the highlight of our week. It's so lovely. It's wonderful to sit and laugh and visit with friends. It's like having y'all in our living room and just sitting around and having a good time. As far as what my plans are, I've got bone broth to make. I've got laundry to do. I'm still working on the afghan that I started last week. I had to take out a bunch of it because I lost the original crochet hook. I tried to go to a different one, and it was not close enough to the same size, so I had to start over. So, oh well. Oh, it's good to know you agree, Ruth. It really is a lot of fun with you guys around, and I can't wait to visit in person either. I mean, as the old saying goes, I'm chomping at the bit. You're welcome. I'm drinking a lot more bone broth than I was. I used to drink about half a cup every morning. I now drink at least a cup every morning and often drink it in the afternoons or evenings as well. It will be a very busy day. It will be. You have a blessed week too, Albany, and it's good to see you. I think that we'll go ahead now and sign off. It's been almost an hour and a half. All of you, please be very careful. Stay safe. God bless you all, and I will see you next week, if not before. Bye.